Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with another video for you, giving you my thoughts on the nominees that have been announced to possibly go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the class of 2016. I'll tell you who is eligible this year. Some newbies, some people who have been on the ballot before that may finally get in, and who I think should go in out of the I think like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. 15 nominees this year eligible that they chose to be eligible. But basically 5 go in every year. So I'll give you my picks for the 5 people that should go in the Hall of Fame this year. Of course, for those of you who don't know the Hall of Fame qualifications, you must be eligible to be in 25 years after your first album. So new people got in after 1990 this year. Or eligible when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame puts you on the fucking ballot. Because sometimes people don't get in the ballot till later in their career, like some bands, including those on this list. Before I go any further, for those of you who haven't seen my videos lately, or have, I'm back in my room again. I have been making the last couple of videos on my tablet since my computer was down. I just got a new computer. I had to transfer the files from the old computer to the new one. So now I'm back up and running on the computer. So let's get started with my thoughts on the nominees and who should go in this year. Let's talk about the people that have been on the ballot before. Now, out of the people that are on the ballot, out of the 15 nominees, seven people of the 15 have been on the ballot before, including N.W.A, who I think are most likely to get in this year. They were on the ballot for the class of 2013. And Public Enemy was on that ballot as well. Public Enemy got in 2013 over N.W.A. But now the timing is right for the N.W.A to go in. Of course, one of the most influential gangster groups ever. Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, MC Rain, or should I say Easy Motherfucking E, and Yella revolutionized gangster rap forever with the album Straight Outta Compton. Now, the timing is right for N.W.A to go in because of the movie. Straight Outta Compton, the movie came out this year, became a huge hit in the box office. So they got momentum on their side going in. You know, they've been on the ballot before, but I think now it's time for N.W.A to get in. Now they got more with it. When they were on the ballot the first time, you know, Public Enemy got in over them. But this time, N.W.A should go in this time. I'll give you that, one of my picks. Also on the ballot this year, that's been on there before, Deep Purple, who should go in this year. Come on. I think they're on the same ballot as either Wash or Kiss. And those two got in. Now it's time to get some more rock people in, especially Deep Purple. Smoke on the Water alone should be going in. Just because of that song alone. The song that every young guitar player has to play the first time they touch a guitar. It is the guitarist's national anthem. Along with the other big hits like Space Truckin', Women in Tokyo. I even saw Deep Purple this year in concert. They're pretty good. You know, Ian Gillan doesn't have the strong of a voice as he used to, but he can still wail when he wants to. Especially on those hit songs. So, that's where I think Deep Purple should go in. This year, one of my picks. Other returnees, man, she can be on the ballot so many times. They're like the Donna Summer syndrome. They're on the ballot till they fucking get in. They're like, oh, we want Sheekin. You know, Donna Summer was on the ballot for years. And timing was everything for her. Because she didn't get in until after she passed. So, Sheik's timing, you know, they're like influential in the disco scene, especially with songs like Good Times, which was sampled the beat for the first major rap song, Sugar Hill Gang's Rappers in the Light, and Freak Out about an incident at Studio 54 when they were going to let Nia Watches in. Nia Watches is very I think Nia Watches should be in as a producer. Because he's produced so many great people like Duran, David Bowie, and Madonna's Like a Virgin. Come on. And speaking of bands that may get in because of timing, Yes have been on the ballot before. I think Yes won either last year or the year before. And timing is everything for them because one of their founding members, John Anderson, just passed away just a few months ago. The pity vote. Like they got in Donna Summer at last because she passed away. Louis got in because he died. Sheik may get it just because they've been on the ballot so damn long. So Yes may get the pity vote because of the fact that their lead guy, John Anderson, not John Anderson. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I made a mistake. Before anyone says, oh, he said the wrong name, Chris Squire. I apologize for that. I made the wrong call. Chris Squire is the one who passed away this year, not John Anderson. He's still alive. Thankfully for Yes fans. I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of Yes. And speaking of that, Yes and Deep Purple would be interesting to see because there's been tension within the two groups in the lineups. Like Deep Purple would be like, is Richie Blackmore gonna show up because of his ill-fated relationship, especially with Ian Gillan? They have a well-publicized love-hate relationship. They love working as a band, but hate working with each other. So their battles are notoriously infamous. So that could be one of the biggest squabbles since Guns N' Roses and Van Halen. And of course, John Anderson, who is alive and Yes, he could be involved in there too. So there you go. Other returnees who are nominated again this year. We got the Smiths back on the ballot this year. Morrissey, they're very judgmental alternative band. I don't think they're going in anytime soon, though. They could go in eventually, but Deep Purple should get in before them. Spinners, Disco Group, they're in as well. Now let's talk about the people who are on the ballot for the very first time. Janet Jackson, one of the most notable new nominees. It's been almost 30 years since Control, one of the most influential albums, and her best album, one of the best albums. Of course, her brothers are in the Hall of Fame, including, of course, her most famous brother, Michael, who's in it twice as a solo artist and as a member of the Jackson 5. Janet's first album did come out in 1982. It's been almost 35 years since that album, but Control was the album that made her a household name in the music scene. Rhythm Nation. And Janet became big. I think Janet Jackson deserves being in the Hall of Fame. Because Madonna's in, and some call Madonna the Queen of Pop. Some people say Janet Jackson's the Queen of Pop. And I love them both. I've seen both in concert. I saw Janet 2001 on the All For You tour. Her last great album. Although I'm hearing some of the songs from the new album, Unbreakable, not bad. Especially putting it up with Missy Elliott. So, she's had a great influence on pop music and dance music. And videos as well. She's had as many memorable videos as her brother. All White, With a Nation, the entire short, long-form video was amazing. And her songs are influential. The production has been influential. Jimmy Jam and Jerry Lewis and Janet Jackson, the producing team, did for their music what Quincy and Michael did. Influenced production on music. And that's what Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did with Janet on her records. So that's one of my other picks again in Janet Jackson to go in. Other new nominees going in this year to be eligible this year after years of being ignored. Cheap Trick is eligible this year. The biggest thing is Buddy Carlos, the drummer, has got fired over things. So will he join the band if they get inducted? Of course, very influential in the alternative garage band scene as well as the modern mainstream rock world. Their rock songs sound like pop rock songs. Songs like Surrender, The Dream Police, I Want You to Want Me. One of the most overplayed rock songs besides Rock War Night, but still love to hear it though. Especially the Budokan version. Yeah, Live at Budokan was the big album. Do I think Cheap Trick should go in? I think they will. Not this year though. Like I said, Deep Purple should go in before Cheap Trick. That's my opinion. Everybody after Deep Purple. And Priest when they finally get on the fucking ballot. Other newbie, Chicago. They're on the ballot for the first time ever. They've been around for over 40 years. It's kind of weird that they're finally on the ballot now. They are the jazz rock fusion. They have influenced the world of jazz and rock. With the horns of the band, you hear nothing like it. When you hear a song like Saturday in the Park or 25 or 64, it's like it's none you hear before. And going back to people, like when you have bands that split up and people leave and have acrimonious exits, be interesting to see them get back together, like the whole Witchy Blackmore situation, and the Purple, the Bunny Cole situation. If Cheap Trick gets back, Cheap Trick gets in. Chicago-wise, you got Peter Cetera, former lead singer. He may have some problems with the band. He may have some money issues. But it could be great to see. That's a possibility about some of these bands getting nominated. Like Cheap Trick, Chicago, and the Purple. It's a possibility of original lineups getting back together again. Yes, too. Especially Chicago-wise with Peter Cetera. I think of all the bands that are on the ballot that may get back together to get some original members back, Chicago's most likely to do that. Deep Purple, I doubt Richie Blackmore's going to show up. Or if he does show up, he won't perform. If Deep Purple gets in. Going back to the new 9 Inch Nails. They're eligible this year for 25 years since Pretty Hate Machine came out in 1990. Ain't about a single Head Like a Hole. When it comes to the industrial techno scene, 9 Inch Nails have been the forefront of it. The godfathers of that scene. Influences bands like Smashing Pumpkins and Marilyn Manson, who was a disciple of Trent Reznor, who's gone on to become a very successful score guy for winning an Oscar for Social Network and nominated for other films specifically directed by David Fincher. Of course, besides Head Like a Hole, big albums for them. The Downward Spiral, one of the most critically acclaimed and most beloved albums of the 90s. Includes songs like Closer, and Marching the Pigs, and a song that was covered by Johnny Cash in his last album, Hook. 9 Inch Nails. Do they deserve to be in? I think they do, because when it comes to industrial metal, we have none of those guys. Like, I don't think Tool will ever go in, but 9 Inch Nails should. I don't think this year's their year. Once again, everybody after Deep Purple. But this next guy, another guy who's been in the music scene for years and finally getting nominated, he should be in. Steve Miller. Guitar Miller. Stevie Guitar Miller is my dad used to call him. I think those were his nicknames. Very influential in the rock scene. I saw him last year with Journey, and he was terrific with his band. The hits of Steve Miller, come on. The Joker, Fly Like an Eagle, Jet Airline, Rockin' Me Baby. And my theme song for Bad Gigs, Take the Money and Run. I'm a disc jockey, when I have like bad nights, when there's like poor attendance, there's a son of my head, take the money and run, because I'm getting paid for this. You know? No matter who shows up, no matter how fun it is, no matter how much they dance, we get paid. We be me, my dad, who's my roadie. So Steve Miller should be in because his influence on rock, a lot of bands came off him and fed off his influence. So I think Steve Miller should go in this year. And a couple last of the new nominees, the JBs. Don't know much about them. Shaka Khan. Interesting choice. Of course, lead singer of Rufus. And had a somewhat successful solo career with I Feel For You, like the most successful song. That was a song written by Prince for his Dirty Mind album, if I'm not mistaken. Because he performed on the Dirty Mind album. There's so many songs that Prince wrote that either he did or some of his people did, but other people covered. Like Shaka Khan did I Feel For You. Cyndi Lauper did When You Were Mine. And of course, the most notable Prince song that someone covered was Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You. I think Shaka Khan, same thing. I think she'll go in eventually, maybe not this year though. We have Los Lobos, mostly known by me and casual music fans as the band who did La Bamba from the movie of the same name, The Richie Valens Story. That's all I know about them. But like a Mexican fusion band, I don't know if they'll ever go in though. It's interesting down the ballot, but I don't think they're going in anytime soon. And the last of the new nominees, The Cause. There was a Facebook group I saw that, and I'm a member of it, to try to get The Cause in the Hall of Fame. The fans not as rabid as Kiss fans, but kind of as rabid, trying to fight for their band to get on the ballot. And now their call has been heeded. They heeded the call, and finally the band is on the ballot. Of course, the Cause, Rick Ocasek, Benjamin Orr, and the rest of the guys, I don't know the rest of the guys' names, came out in the late 70s. New wave sound, kind of with songs like My Best Friend's Girl, Just What I Needed, Shake It Up, You've All I Got Tonight, and Heartbeat City, the biggest album, if you might think, that won the first ever VMA for Video of the Year in 1984, and Drive. So, I think the Cause will be in. My dad doesn't think so. I was talking about this with my dad today, and he's like, Cheap Trick and the Cause are just normal rock bands. What influence have they had? Cause when it comes to using synths in bands, like rock and synths, guitars and synths. They were a unique band because they were like using synths as well as guitars. That's a big influence, using keyboards as a notable instrument in the group. And the songs were catchy. Very catchy pop rock songs. Kind of in the same vein as Cheap Trick. The rock songs sound like pop songs that are commercialized. Like you hear it on classic rock and maybe on some adult contemporary stations. Like I think I hear Magic sometimes on the WOMC here in Detroit and WNIC. When they don't play new stuff. So there you go. Those are the nominees. And here are my top 5 picks. The 5 people I would pick to go in the Hall of Fame in 2016. Of course, this year you had Joan Jett going in, Ringo Starr going in, Lou Reed finally going in, Green Day going in, and Stevie Ray Vaughan going in. So here's my 5 picks to go in Hall of Fame. I've said 2 of them earlier. My 5 picks to go in. Steve Miller Band, Janet Jackson, N.W.A, Deep Purple, Fifth's a wild card. I would say maybe yes because of the timing, because of the guy just passed away. But I say Cheap Trick. That's my no the Cause. The Cause because of fans. So I say the Cause, Janet Jackson, Deep Purple, Steve Miller, and N.W.A are my picks to go in the Hall of Fame in the class of 2016. Of course, the ceremony will be in New York City in 2016, next April. Once again, HBO will be broadcasting it in May. So there you go. That's when they always air it in May. It's kind of interesting. They got a lot of unique mainstream names this year. They got Cheap Trick this year on the ballot, Chicago, and Janet Jackson, trying to please more of the mainstream crowd. Not just the rock crowd with Deep Purple on them, but pleasing adult contemporary fans and modern classic rock fans. So very interesting to see that. And there's a new committee too, so that could change everything. Of course, the fans can vote. They have like their own fan ballot. They can vote until December, and that's when they'll announce the people who will get in. So those are my thoughts on this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees and who I think should be in. And I told you those 5 that I would vote for on the fan side for my ballot. And that is it for this video. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the thoughts from Zach. See you later. Yeah.